There is something we've been working on. It might not be ready for a while, but it's a big project, and I've been spending quite a bit of time on it. It's a very personal story about something that happened to me quite a few years ago, hundreds of years ago. It's very personal to me, and we're trying to make it in order to show you more about who I used to be.
Spoiling a little bit about its progress, it is being made. And we have actors on board. We have a completed script, and we have the art is almost finished its planning stages. So probably I would say difficult to say, but definitely this year. And we have nailed a deadline. It's turning out to be a lot longer than I thought, but I think the extra length is going to make it very much worth it. Yeah, you can think of it like a movie. I don't know if it'll be feature length, but I'm envisioning it to be quite lengthy and of quite high quality as well. I started planning this back in like January. It's been going for a long time. It's a hefty lore-related project, and it's being worked on by a pretty small team of artists. It's a difficult part of my life to talk about, I will say that much, but I hope that it serves to entertain you all and educate a lot of you on the kind of person that I really am. I remember recently I made some changes to the script for my big lore project coming up, and I remember having a wonderful time chatting with the art team for that and sort of coming up with some ideas live. And I remember really enjoying the feeling of just sitting down, coming up with ideas, and then putting something together live. So I want it to sort of be, maybe it's a little ambitious, but I want it to be a real landmark for what people should expect from VTubers and their lore. I want it to be a real watermark occasion where other VTubers who want to do lore will look at that and think, shit, you know. It's ambitious in that way, but that's why it's taken so long. There is one more thing I would like to show you before we go. I mentioned earlier that I have been teasing a certain project that I've been working on since prior to Noctix's debut. This has been in the works for a long time. It's a very personal project, and I am very happy to finally be able to show you just a little sneak peek before everything continues. So, what you might be seeing right now is something that's very impressive. I have my robes, I have my horns, everything about me seems to have powered up in a way. But I want to reassure you that, as much as it may pain me to admit, this is not my final form. You can find her in the QRTs for the trailer. The artist who's been working on this with me, same person who helped me with my debut lore video. I wanted a very singular artistic vision for this, and so I basically said, I will essentially pay your wages full time for you to slowly get this thing done. And it's turned out to be very, very long, and it has taken this artist an extremely long time, but each moment spent has not been wasted. So good news. So there are a lot of voice actors who've been in talks for the lore project, and just yesterday I secured the first one, like, officially. You know, we've got it all written up and everything, so that is moving along nicely. I'm gonna reach out to the others soon, so hopefully we'll have a full cast ready.
But recently, now that we're moving towards the phase of production on this big lore project that I actually get to be a part of, which is directing voice actors, producing, so handling legal stuff, assembling a cast, making trailers, and also this project is one that I am going to edit myself, which is going to be a lot of fun. I have a ton of experience with editing.
I really think that I'm going to be able to do a very good job. It's actually to the point where I'm editing it because I don't trust anyone else to do as good of a job as I can. I really am very confident about my ability to get the pacing right and to set it up in a way that's perfect. So
when I do start properly marketing it all over the place on Twitter and stuff, I'm not going to call it lore. Because I think that lore is very much sort of caught up in the trappings of VTuber tradition. It's just kind of a word that we use. I'm just going to refer to it as a film. You know, it is a short film by Vox Akuma, and that's what it is. I'm not out there saying like, oh, brand new lore coming out with you know, like some people would say, oh, new lore with my outfit. Something about that. I'm not that I'm judging anybody. Like, you know, you can feel free to run your business in any way you want. But I think that in order to, you know, let's just stop following a lot of different traditions and let's try and sort of improve on things in a way that makes them more easily digestible for people outside of this niche. And that's what I want to do. So my hope is that in the week leading up to its release, I can make some appearances. I don't know if this is actually going to happen. I want to be able to make some appearances on like podcasts and stuff, almost like a press tour, you know, and just kind of try and dip my toes into as many different communities as possible and say, hey, I'm doing this cool thing. You should totally come check it out. You know, I've thought about the idea of when the big project does come out, the idea of people getting together to see it in a theater. If there was like a picture, you know, of like a packed cinema of everyone sat down ready to watch the film that I made, I don't know what I would do with myself. I legitimately think that I would just sit there and weep because I'd feel like I'd done everything in life that I'd ever dreamed of doing.
The other day, I got some more music back from Diego, and he asked me, like, how does this sound? And it was really funny. So I basically had to tell him, like, you know, no spoilers, but I told him, okay, this scene, it needs to be very, you know, it needs to be very unpleasant. And so I basically told him, listen, from what you've given me, it sounds like you're obeying all of the things that you've learned about being a good musician. And I just told him, forget about all that. Forget about it. Make this song sound unpleasant to listen to. Ignore what you've learned and do something different. And then he came back with something else, and I was like, that's it. That's it.
It's frustrating because every time I get inspired by like a film or something, I feel like I have another idea and I'm like, I have to stop adding to this. Like it's a complete package now, you know. So like as it stands right now, I don't need to change it anymore. But I think that like as a completed package, I think it's really, really good, very good. And I was thinking, how many songs are actually in this thing? And I counted it up, not even including some unused tracks where he would hand me something and say, what's this? And I'm like, let's go in a different direction. Not even including those, which are still completed and good sounding pieces of music. There are, at the moment, 17 songs in this thing. 17 brand new pieces of music. If you can fucking believe it. Yes. Some of them shorter than others. But some of them are even like 5 fucking minutes long. Yes, 17 songs that Diego has done for this.
Okay, one thing I can say is that today I did the last of my recordings for the project, and it was a very fun experience. My role in this, obviously, because it's kind of about a big story from my life. My role is quite big in this, and I'm also very perfectionist about how it turns out. And so I wound up recording, and the final like audio file, because I did so many takes and because I have so many lines to do, the final audio file was like close to 2 hours long, which is definitely my fault. I definitely left it on while I took a break sometimes, but it was a really massive day today.
The hardest thing about streaming right now is not like humming the soundtrack to myself or like saying any of the lines from the script, because the shit that has been cooked, especially recently,
is amazing, and it's been going through my mind constantly, and I keep almost like humming a tune or saying something, and it's crazy. So rest assured, if I'm enjoying it that much, I'm sure you will as well.